as you believe. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of the Anime Podcast Show. This is episode 18. So let's get started with the first segment of the show. As usual, let's go with what anime shows got into during the COVID pandemic. So I want to talk about this adventure story that you are looking for someone who was a part of your family's history, but as a rookie hunter, I'm here to talk about Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is a manga series written and illustrated by Yoshihiro Takagashi, the same person who created Yu Yu Hakusho. It has been serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine since March of 1998, and the manga is still going. Although, recently, there's no new manga chapters yet, because it's been on hiatus at the moment since the year of 2006, due to the creator's health. So let's take a little synopsis about Hunter x Hunter and what is the show about. This story focuses on a young boy named Gon who discovers that his father, who left him at a young age, is actually a world-renowned hunter, and now he is a fully professional licensed hunter. So Gon departures on a journey to become a hunter to eventually to find his dad, along with his other companions. Kurapika is the last remaining member of the Kurita clan who wishes to become a hunter in order to avenge his clan and recover their scarlet glowing eyes that were plucked from their corpse by a band of thieves known as Phantom Tribe. Leorio is a prospective physician who, in order to pay for medical school, desires the financial benefits that hunters receive. And Killua, at same age as Gon, who has left his former life as a member of the world's most notorious assassination family. The fellas are on a journey to become hunters for themselves, fighting villains that they don't know of, and seeing the whole world of hunters. It became a hit, with 2 TV adaptations, video games, 2 feature films, and other merchandise, etc. Well, the 1999 series was produced by Nippon Animation, who produced the Beyblade series with co-production with Madhouse. But here's a fun fact. Madhouse is going to get to produce the next second adaptation of Hunter x Hunter years later. That is freaking crazy because if you don't know Madhouse, Madhouse is the studio who produced other particular anime shows such as Trigun, Death Note, and the first season of One Punch Man for the 2011 Hunter x Hunter second adaptation. That is a great opportunity for them to produce and animate from them. And you know what? That's a great studio to do. Hunter x Hunter has become a huge successful manga of all time, and also it sold 79 million copies as of November of 2021. With the first adaptation was the 1999 series for over 62 episodes and adapting 102 chapters until the OVA of Greed Island Arc as of new episodes from 63 to 92. But an official reboot of Hunter x Hunter came out for a second adaptation to adapt from the very beginning of the story to 339 chapters of the manga for the 2011 series. I want to mention this fun fact that fans don't know about of Hunter x Hunter. About a year before the official Hunter x Hunter 1999 series came out, a pilot OVA short film came out in 98. It was shown at a Jump Festa Jump Super Anime Tour, showing a 30-minute pilot, each different short films from a few popular different shows. Even One Piece showing it back in 2008, where they did what they did for the Super Jump Anime Tour back in 2008. Oh yeah, they did the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's special. They did a Dragon Ball Dragon Ball Returned, and the list goes here from there. And if you guys haven't seen that 1998 story thing, pilot, I think it's online if you can find it, but who knows. Anyway, does it stream anywhere else? Of course. They do. They streamed it on Crunchyroll, got the license to stream it, and release it on DVD and Blu-ray. They released it in the US back in 2016 with Viz Media, but internationally, not really at all. Until somewhere in 2020 with Mad Men. Mad Men Entertainment is my Australian distributor. They finally released Hunter x Hunter, and I was so proud they did it. And I remember when they announced it from Anime Lab back then in 2020, I was like, wait, what? We are bringing Hunter x Hunter here? Hell yes. And over every single episode that they released so far, not the 90s series, but I'm talking about the reboot dub. That's what I'm saying. But still, that was great to see it. But I was so happy it's finally here to get it. And here's a fun fact. Another fact that, of course, if you're listening or watching from the US, that Toonami broadcast Hunter x Hunter back in 2016 to 2019, 3 years on the air, and I would say they had a great run on the dub, and you know what? It made very well in their viewership for Toonami. What was my interest of Hunter x Hunter anyway? Well, like I said with the Toonami stuff, that's how I exposed of it from Toonami. But I wasn't a fan of it until, like, I think early of the pandemic, I was very interested to take a look at it. But I've seen promos from the Toonami block, like the lineups and everything else, but never seen, like, the entire show. So I'm very curious about it. And also, another thing I'm very curious about is the dub cast as well. And back then, didn't know everyone from the cast, and now get to get to know more of the cast, and that was my interest with the show as well. But there are some times that if I want to watch the show or not, but I know it's one of the most enjoyable show ever. But there were some times it got a bit boring, like not why did you put it there in the show, but still, it's still one of the best. But it's an incredible show. But hopefully, if we get any new material for the chapters of the manga and the anime, that'll be super great. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my thoughts about Hunter x Hunter. Let's move on to the next segment of the show, and that will be topic of the week. For this one there's a lot of remakes and reboots out there, right? But sometimes you need to start a fresh beginning of, what I mean is go back to the beginning where it all began. And what was it? And what it should be, that an original anime idea. But I'm here to talk about my favorite anime reboots. So let's get started with my top 5 list in Digimon Reboot. I talked about this on the last episode, but still absolutely love this incredible season itself. But I think that couple of newer fans will get a bit of confused from the original series. But you know what? That's a very good direction. It was a very new direction that they were approaching for, that they would take the kids to the world of social media from the 90s series that they never had social media back then. So now taking a spin on a real life reality, it's very, very new and what they experienced on. That's good for them. For the series itself, there has been some ups and downs, but still, it's a solid season. It is Digimon, but still, give up to Digimon. And like I said on the last episode, the dub is coming up very soon. I'm super hyped for it, and let's see how the dub cast's gonna do. Hopefully, they're gonna do well for it. Now let's move on to number 4. Number 4 has to be Sailor Moon Crystal. So as it was a commemoration project for the 20th year for Sailor Moon of the 90s series, so Toei decided to do a reboot to adapt on every single chapter of the manga. So the TV show got adapted 3 arcs and 1 feature film. So for the TV series for Crystal, they adapt on the Dark Kingdom, the Black Moon, and the 3rd arc. I think it's called the Infinity Arc, whatever it's called. I don't remember. And the last one, the current Sailor Moon Crystal stuff, they dubbed they adapt on the Sailor Moon internal movie for the circus arc slash the dream arc, but still has no update for the Sailor Stars arc yet. But my guess that they were going to do a TV show or a movie, I don't know what they're going to do with that. Who in the hell knows what they're going to do? Top three. Number three. It has to be Mr. Otamasu. I know you people don't know anything about Otamasu, but we'll talk about that later on the show in the future. So these 6 tuplets are total sick bastards they are. The Otamasu series has been rebooted from the original series that came out in 1966 and 1988. But this one is that the brothers are adults now and grown up without no jobs, no relationships, and no responsibility. Being lazy asses, but you know what? I really enjoyed the show. Because I love comedy. Comedy is my thing. But also, by the way, I have to mention this because this show, the reboot dub, is the current English dub. This is the only thing they dubbed for Otamasu. This is the only thing they dubbed. But let me tell you, it's so good. If you guys haven't watched it, go watch it on DVD. I think it's available on DVD right now. I think it's available on digital. I think, I don't know, but I'll mention more about Mr. Otamasu in the future. Oh, I'm so hyped for the next stuff for Otamasu series. Okay, the top 2 list. I have to give to this as JoJo Bizarre Adventure. For this one, I think JoJo's franchise is saved by the reboot. It was the 25th anniversary of the manga, and they announced it back in 2012, and since then on, the series itself became a cultural phenomenon hit, and one of the greatest series of all time back in 2012, until right now that the series what happened was that why did it get saved? Because of the 1993 OVA series, and then they redone everything they did Stardust Crusaders in 1993 and 1994. Then they did it again in the early 2000s. Then in 2007, that's how the franchise got bombarded. So downfall of the franchise because of the Phantom Blood movie that came out in 2007. And that's why it got declined from the fandom in Japan. But internationally, it kind of did, but not really. But when the anime boom came out for JoJo, everyone was like, yes, this has got to happen. This has got to happen, baby. Hell yeah. Still, one of the greatest series of all time it is. And top 1, I know you people gonna be pissed, but let me say about this. I have to say my top 1 list has to be is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. People are saying these days, in their opinions, is one of the best reboots of all time. To me, it's great. Originally, I was going to put it as number 5. But I know I'm going to get so much hate because due to the fandom, what they are saying, but still, it was a bit of a controversial move in the beginning when I was making this script for this podcast episode. So that's why I put it as a number 1 list to make you all fucking happy. Are you happy now? Are you happy now that Full Metal is number 1 in the list? But yes, it follows the manga very closely and totally agree. But still, it's still one of the greatest reboots of all time. But Full Metal is still one of the best. And obviously the dub as well. The dub cast is really excellent. Very solid. Very, very new. And what a fresh reboot of this particular series. And that's why these shows like Hunter x Hunter, Digimon, and other particular shows, they're taking an aspect from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood to a newer style that was for an adapting a new story or adapting a story from a manga or whatever and bring a new element to it. So that's great. So that is the list for anime reboots ever I chose for the topic of the week segment. So that is it. Alright, let's move on to the next segment of the show, and that will be remembering your childhood watching anime. So if you guys don't know this segment, or you don't remember, that this segment is I tell some stories, and how did I expose with these shows growing up. So after Pokemon, it was mid-2006, in this series it goes screaming and power-ups. But this series I'm talking about is Dragon Ball. Let's see how it became part of my life. It started around randomly on TV on Cartoon Network. Then I think I saw a promo of Dragon Ball GT. And maybe at the time it was the promotional for the series' premiere in Australia. And during the premiere, it says that they're going to do a Dragon Ball marathon showing. And I remember I watched one of the marathon episodes. For the original, I bet they aired the King Piccolo saga. And then for DBZ, I think they aired the Boo saga or the Cell Games saga. I don't remember. But they're all reruns, actually. They're showing on reruns. So that was great to watch it. And that's what I remember. And when I watched it, it was really enjoyable to look at it. And then they showed a preview episode of GT. And I bet it was the first episode, like the lost episodes start from the very beginning. Or they just kicked off with the Grand Problem episode. That means it was a 15 episode recap before leading up to the plot. Kind of a DBZ style. After that, I remember, after that run, couple weeks prior, I remember that I saw a VHS tape or a DVD of it. I remember rented one of the DVDs, and that was the Cell Games stuff, where Gohan was born. And I remember watching it. I was like, wow, this is an interesting show. I'd never seen a show like this before in any animation form. And I didn't know it was from Japan. I didn't know that. And then, it was from Japan. I was like, wait, what? I didn't know that till years later that it's from Japan. Okay. After that run, and then in December to January of 2006 and 2007, I was on vacation visiting my relatives from the Philippines because I got family there. And I remember I saw this shop that's selling rare toys, DVDs, etc. A lot of merch from the early 2000s. Oh my gosh. And I got one of the DVDs, and I got an action figure. And let me tell you what action figure I got. It was Master Roshi. I got Master Roshi. So, I don't have them. Well, technically right now, I don't have them anymore. But with the DVD I had, it was the original dub from DBZ with the Bruce Falconer score. And it got all the episodes from the Cell Games to all the way to the Boo saga leading up to the finale. It was awesome to own it. But then in 2009, we all know about this disgraceful live-action film. Yeah, the worst one ever. I don't want to talk about it. But let's move on. Now, moving to the year when I came back watching anime, that was the year of 2017. At that time, I didn't know anime became big, like it was back then, back in the day, from the early 2000 years. But nowadays, that you can watch anime, you can watch a lot of shows of anime. But anyway, so when I came back, that I didn't know that they got a new series called Dragon Ball Super, and I didn't know that Dragon Ball Super was around at the time. It was the time when the dub was out, and I didn't know that they already aired it on TV in the United States already. I didn't know that. And they aired like the first 13 episodes on the air. And that was my interest on Toonami from the very beginning since then on. I've been watching every single episode since of Super. And I remember in high school, I told my teachers and friends, said I'm loving Dragon Ball Super and loving their content, love what they're doing. But in the same year, in 2017, that Jump Festa from Japan, that they announced they are working on a feature film. Since then on, I've been catching up a lot of updates leading up to the release of Dragon Ball Super Broly in 2019. And as then on, we've been waiting for more updates for the franchise until they announced it like in 2021 that they are working on another movie called Dragon Ball Superhero. Still cannot wait to see it on the big screen again. And let me tell you, Dragon Ball Super Broly was the first theatrical film that I saw for anime. And since then on, I've been watching anime films then on in theaters. And like I said, when we get to see the superhero movie, still cannot wait to see it on the big screen when we get out this freaking pandemic. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my history with the Dragon Ball franchise of remembering my childhood watching anime. Alright, let's move on to the last segment before closing the episode. And that would be announcements. What has been announced throughout of 2022? I talked about it on the last episode, so let's talk more about this. Let's get started with this. I want to start a live action thing first. If you guys don't remember an article back in 2015 from Deadline, they saying that Hasbro and Paramount are going to team up, going to produce a live action anime film, and it's Beyblade. And I remember this article said it's going to focus on the original cast. And that means the original cast, what I'm saying is that they're going to focus on Tyson and the crew. So that's very exciting as older fans who love Beyblade. And now, but I know there's a lot of hiccup about a live action anime. As you saw the Cowboy Bebop Netflix. Now the One Piece a live action anime is coming. And it's going to be a disaster. Don't tell me. But hopefully Beyblade won't be a disaster like Alita. Who knows? And recently we got some news that the producer of the Bad Boys movies is going to be producing the Beyblade current movie. So now they are currently working on the script, and hopefully it would be freaking great. The next thing I want to mention is that on the last episode that I found out that Digimon Reboot is going to get dubbed. And first of all, I was thinking about getting the old cast back. Since the show was first on the air, we're gonna get the cast back. Until 2 years later, thinking about it, saying from mid of February of this year, I wasn't. When they announced it, I wasn't too happy about it. And then 3 to 4 days later, thinking about the new cast, like it's gonna be very good. I bet it's gonna be, but I'm gonna support it every step of it. Speaking about Digimon, I did mention in one past episode that in the show, they are working on a new Digimon film, right? And the same people who worked on the Last Evolution Kazuna movie, well, we got some update for it right now. It says here that for the upcoming 2.0 film movie, the new film will set around 2 years after the events of the Last Evolution Kazuna movie. And we're going to see Davis and the others again for this new movie. Still cannot wait what they're going to do with it. And still hell excited. Another live action movie that is coming. If you guys remember from the Full Metal Alchemist 2017 film, well, a disaster is going to come back. Full Metal Alchemist is coming back for 2 more movies. Oh boy. Because if who remembers from the first movie back in 2017, it was a goddamn low-budget film. But to me, back in the day, I've absolutely loved it. But looking back now, it kind of meh to me. But now a sequel is coming. Not only one film, it's going to be 2 movies. It seems like a Rurouni Kenshin live-action finale movie. If you guys haven't seen Kenshin, go ahead and watch it. Everything is so good. I think the 5 movies are on Netflix right now, but go ahead and watch it. Before we move on, the last mention about a new show coming, we got some 6 new news we got already earlier in March. So I want to talk about this first. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned earlier about Mr. Ultimasu, but I never mentioned that we got a new movie that is coming up sometime this year, and the new movie is going to set around in this coming July of 2022, and it's a two theatrical films that they're going to do from this year to next year. So I'm super excited for that. The next thing I want to mention is that if who are fans of the Madoka Magica series, this is going to be the final season, y'all. The Madoka Magica spin-off, Magica Record, airs on April 3rd with all 4 episodes at once. So this is going to be a big, long finale. So as fans, we're going to be very sad about this. And then I think that after this, I bet they're going to announce for their new Madoka Magica movie that is in the works right now. So who knows what they're gonna do with it? So I'm very excited for it. The next thing that I talked about in the past, but I said before about the Isekai Quartet movie that is coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a new update that the movie is gonna hit theaters in Japan this coming summer of 2022. That's gonna be hella exciting. And where the story's going to take, where the characters are at the end of the 2nd season, and also, where does this movie place? Is it before the 3rd season? Is it the middle of the 3rd season? Or maybe after the 3rd season? Who in the hell freaking knows? I'm super excited to see the Konosuba cast, the ReZero cast, the Shield Hero cast, Overlord, and the Saga of Tanya. I'm so excited. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Here's my prediction. My own shit I'm gonna say is, hopefully, if they bring Komiko to the show, bring them down, baby. Oh yes, Spider herself, hell bloody yes. Oh, it's gonna be good. So on the last episode, I did talk about Zero's Tea Time from Detective Conan / Case Closed. So we finally got a release date this coming April. And it's going to be on the air in Japan on April 4th of this year. And also, just a couple hours ago, actually, that by the time of this recording, it was out for about 6 hours ago. But we just got announced that Netflix, if you don't know, Netflix is going to localize stream for the Zero's Tea Time. And we have finally got the international release for the show, and that will be this coming July. Holy shit. This coming July of 2022 for Detective Conan / Case Closed for Zero's Tea Time. I am super hype. And who knows? I did talk about this before not on the show, but privately on the Discord. I was in a Discord a couple nights ago, and then I was talking to one of our peeps from the US, and I said do you think that they're going to dub Zero's Tea Time? And then in my head going, yeah, they're going to dub it. I bet the Bang Zoom cast are going to dub it. And I think that they're going to dub Zero's Tea Time and the Bride of Halloween movie that is coming up this coming April. So I think that this is going to be connecting what's going to be happening with Mr. Omuro, what will be happening with him in the Bride of Halloween film. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do with it? So I am super hyped for it. And last but not least, we had finally got what I'm going to say on the last one. So we are so hyped for this new show called Spy and Family. We had finally got a release date for the premiere date, and it will set to premiere on the air in Japan on April 9th of 2022. But still excited what they're going to do with this show. And let me tell you, I will bet the dub cast will absolutely nail this damn show, as always. So that is it for the Anime Podcast show for this episode. And this is a wrap for this as well. And also for this season as well. Stay tuned for more shows and information I'm going to share with you guys. Hope you all stay safe and catch you all soon.